Welcome back to Thursday Night Knives. I'm Bob DeMarco. Coming up, the new Jack Wolf Knives Gateway Barlow. That's the second run of that knife. We're going to do the Gentleman Junkie knife giveaway. So that's the giveaway for those who are members right here on YouTube or on Patreon. And then the state of the topic of conversation tonight is, what are your go bag knives? I'm interested in this because I've been on this little tear of building little survival bags, little necessary bags, those little kits that everyone needs. So I have get home bags. Some of them are big, some of them are small. Some of them are in backpacks. Some are in haversacks. I have probably like 6 altogether. It's not like I have a whole bunch of them. But it's always a conundrum. What do you put in your bag? So that's what I want to know. What do you put in your bag? So let me know. Talk about that, and we will talk about that. Let me know how it's going. Marco, how's it going, sir? Evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Evening to you, Marco. Hope you're doing well. Carino1, good to have you, sir. Good evening, Jim, Bob, and fellow junkies. I've been freeballing without a go bag my entire life. Maybe time to put one together. Looking forward to some ideas. You got to. And not only is it just good to have, it's good to have one in the car. It's good to have one at home. But they're also just fun to put together. I have plenty of them. My brother-in-law just recently gave me a new Maxpedition pack, and I've been having fun turning it into like the ultimate little fire kit. And I'm still working on it. Still has stuff to go, but who knows? Might need it someday. Or might just go, camping and take it. Have a nice day. Good to have you here, sir. Good evening, junkies. The Buck Talon FMC and Buck GCK, aka Ground Combat Knife. I also have a Leatherman's tool and whatever pocket knives I'm EDCing at that time. Yeah, gotta have a Leatherman. Gotta have a folder, like a robust cold steel, something you're not afraid to bang around with, and then some, of course, fixed blades. Sword XXXY, good to have you here, sir. Good day, Bob, Jim, and junkies. A 12-inch machete is a useful item to keep in the bag. A 12-inch machete. That is a great idea. I do not have a machete that short, but that's a great idea. That's like, it's perfect. You can do all the knifey tasks, but then you can do a lot more. Ira Hayes, good to have you here, Ira. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and friends. I like a cold steel SRK or Coben for go bag. I also like a TKL Ops Hawk. Yeah, no kidding. The only problem with that is squirreling away a TKL Ops Hawk and never looking at it unless the shit goes down. Tontos is what you were getting at. OG Blade Reviews, nice to have you here, Dave. Dave and I just made a dandy trade. Can't wait to show it off and tell you about it. OG Blade Reviews says, evening, you knife addicts. Nice that Bob gives us this space to commiserate about our blade-related ups and downs. In my go bag is always my TKL Frogman Field. That's such a great knife. I have only double edge on the table, but I was thinking about that knife today. Leatherman, of course, and the Atayal from Work Tough Gear. That's a great idea. You need one more though. You need a cold steel, like like a Voyager or something robust, but relatively something you don't care that much about. Ground Fog, good to have you here, Ground Fog. James Hart, nice to have you here. Well, this is an easy question to answer tonight. I would not call it a go bag. It's my EDC bag, but it goes with me where I go. Yeah, perfect. Cesario, nice to have you here. Ooh, Cesario, that's a beautiful sheath for that wild pig hunter. I have Cesario. Oh, I put it back. Dadgummit. Cesario says, good evening, Bob, Jim, and good folks. I dismantled my bug out bag. Not sure if a go bag is the same, but my mini sock P double-edged, my Raja 3 serrated. Raja 3, this. Raja 3 serrated and the Buck 120 that I must require. That's That sounds great. Yeah, go bag. I'm just talking about the bag that you could grab if you had to go survive on the run. You know, ways to make fire, light, weapons, warmth, food, clothes, that kind of thing. Like Shane, nice to have you here, sir. Edgy American Blades. My go bag knife is currently a Freeman 451 in Magna Cut until I have something I like better. Ooh, that sounds nice. Wait, I know Freeman, I know they do fixed blades and folders. I'm just not sure which one that is. James Hart says, and in it is my Swiss Army Deluxe Tinker. So I was just thinking about this today. The Deluxe Tinker has the scissors. Is that the difference? Excuse me. Gerber multi-tool, cold steel Voyager drop point with 4-inch blade. If I need something more with more guts, I would add the Raja too. Yeah, I got to say, knives like that, or like the one I have here on the table, XL cold steel knives are. This is an old one. This is a Vaquero Grande. But these big cold steel knives are great for these kind of bags because they're super sturdy, especially if you get a newer one with a triad lock. They're relatively compact when folded, but open up to be relatively large when unfolded. And think about the XL Espada, very large. Like 13? What is it like? How big is that knife? Like 16 inches when open. Anyway, an American Father, good to have you here, sir. I am so happy it's Thursday night. Yeah, me too. Favorite night of the week. Beginning of the weekend. It's all potential. It's all potential right now. An American Father says, I don't know about you guys, but it has been a long week here in the homestead, and my get home bag blade is my Cold Steel Recon Tonto. Yes, that sounds awesome. I would also like, I think the Trailmaster or the Recon Scout, if we're talking Recon, a little bit shorter, maybe a little bit more wieldy, and a little bit lighter. That is a Cold Steel I need to get. I mean, there are many. Numerous still. Byron, good to have you here. Split and Slices says, howdy, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. There are 2 knives in the go bag. Cold Steel Recon 1 Tonto, excellent choice. And the Ontario RTAC 2, twin sister to the SE Hungles. I myself have the RTAC 2 as well. My brother has the Hungles. Fish bag. That's Craig with his fishing rod and knife there. Evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkos. I don't really have a go bag. I wear cargos a lot, and they function like go pants. I like it. The important thing is that I keep them full of a variety of cold steels. Enough said. Hey, yeah, if you got a cold steel in pocket, you can go do everything else you need to survive. It all starts with a cold steel. Just kidding. I'm not getting paid. Terminator Joe, nice to have you here, sir. I like Terminator Joe's pocket checks. Good evening, brothers of the blade and sisters of Slash. My bags are pretty big, so I keep a buck 119, a 5 max, and a big fixed blade. Yesterday, it was the Work Tough Gear Primal. Very nice. That Primal is beautiful, that big Bowie. Michael Elliott, good to have you here, sir. Oops, sorry. I have a Michael Elliott blade right here on the table. I'll show you later. I'm going to put this aside. This is not one of his. Michael Elliott says, good evening, Bob, Jim, and fellow junkies. I have a Cold Steel SRK Magna Cut in 1. Yes, in Magna Cut. I didn't know they did that. In 1, and a Gunfighter Customs Frank the Tank Tracker in another. Oh, that sounds awesome. I know I've seen that one, actually. Frank the Tank. Bartholomew Roberts, good to have you here, Bartholomew. Happy Thursday Night Knives, Bob, Jim, and Junkies all. My go bag currently hosts a Condor Plan A Bowie, a Cold Steel Recon 1, an off-grid rapid fire rescue. That's my car knife. That sits in the door of my car. And a SOG multi-tool. That's a good, nicely rounded out selection there. Byron says, beverage of choice is a Guinness Drought tonight. Ooh, draft tonight. Very nice. Enjoy that. Salute. And yes, NCAA basketball on TV while I'm on the laptop. That's awesome. You're doing it like a kid with the multi-screening it. And Jim's got the Welcome to Madness up. He was talking basketball before. Hero Sticks, good to have you here, Hero. He says, evening and cheers, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Evening to you. Well, just having Hero on the screen reminds me that those members, like An American Father, Hero, and Gentlemen Junkies from Patreon, stand to win this tonight. An American Father, nice to have you here, sir. Bob, I've been waiting for a week to ask you, what is your opinion of GCS knives? Are they legit? GCS. Hang on, let me think, because I'm not sure who that is. GCS. Let me think for a sec. Let me show this off first. This is the knife we're giving away. Beautiful auxiliary manufacturing pocket Bowie frame lock. Just beautiful. OEM by Miguron, M390 blade steel. Really nice fluted and textured titanium handle with the little deadhead logo there. Beautiful blade, really sharp. Carried once. I must say, I did carry it once, but I was very careful not to cut with it really or mar it or do anything to it. So it's nice and pristine, going right to you, one of you lucky Gentlemen Junkies tonight. But it is a real beauty, and I'm going to have to get one. I might get mine in the Tonto blade. It also comes in a very cool Tonto blade. All right, I'm going to set that aside. GC, let's see here. I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna have to go with that, and it was immediately. It was like the first thing was a little bit about the art direction. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they are. I need to. I shouldn't speak. Something about the knife looks a little. I don't know, a little fantasy. I don't know. You know what? I will take a better look at them and tell you what I think. But all of that said, take it with a grain of salt because I don't know. I have not tried them. Kind of cool looking, but something about that video was suspiciously well produced. Chad, good to have you here, sir. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkie family. I'm going. Oh, wait, hang on, Shad. I'm sorry to interrupt you or my reading you. But why don't you try it and tell us? And I know that sounds terrible, but maybe we can make it somehow worth your while. Anyway, Shad Gravely says, good evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkie family. I'm going to really listen for some ideas because the only thing in my go bag is extra pistol and rifle magazines. I like it. Well, you can get what you need with those too. Yeah. Space blankets, flashlights, ammunition, and knives. The Jake, good to have you here, Jake. Knife Junkie. I'm in the same mode in the survival bag building theme. I use the Tops Knives El Pionero Blackout Edition paired with the Reaper 11015 demo bar. Ooh, that sounds awesome. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, Jake knows what I mean. I don't know. They're cool. I like the little ones. I like big ones. I like them like more campy. I like them more weapony or tactical. So they're just fun to build. Sean, good to have you here, Sean Clark. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Love me some TNK Thursday Night Knives. Hope everyone is doing well. Thank you, good sir. It's awesome to have you here, gracing our chat. CK good to have you here, CK. No Blade Show Texas for you? No. This is not going to be my first year going to play. It happens at an odd time for me, I gotta say. Every year. March is difficult. Angry Tom's Hat Next Door. Good to have you here, sir. Hello from the upper left corner, Bob and Jim, and all junkies. I have a Winkler Huntsman in my main go bag. What? That's awesome. See, I tend to put my less valuable knives in my go bag, but that doesn't make sense, right? I should have my best stuff in there in case I actually need it. My go bag fine task knife is a Cold Steel Finhawk. I have the Finhawk in one of mine, in the Roaring Fire tool roll-up thing they sent me. Hero Stick says, Go Bag is an American Blade Works version 1 and a cold steel SRK. Oh, really? Man, an American Blade Works. Wait, so is that a Model 1 version 1? That would be pretty baller move. Blessed EDC, nice to have you here, Blessed EDC. Good evening, all. Well, good evening to you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Scott Winters, nice to have you here, Scott. Hello, Bob, and fellow junkies from Virginia Beach. Say hello to Poseidon for me, sir. A couple of large fixed blade Ontario RTAC 6 and a couple of SEs. Leatherman, Wave, and First Aid and MREs. Right. MREs are good. I keep protein bars. I need to get MREs. Protein bars, multi-tools, First Aid for sure. As big as you can carry and as comprehensive. Get a couple of tourniquets, throw them in there. There are these tourniquets I want to get, and now I can't remember what they're called, but they're smaller, and they also fit around small children. You can get them around babies' legs and stuff like that. And I kind of dropped seeking them out, but I need to seek them out again. But get that kind of stuff too. Adrian Fighter 35, nice to have you here, sir. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and fellow junkies. Oh, also a life straw so you can drink out of fetid water. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and fellow junkies. Hope everyone had a great day. Don't have a go bag yet, but I'd probably keep an SRK and Recon 1 XL in one. Oh, yes, you would, sir. Maybe throw in the 12-inch Warcraft. Adrian and the missus, hope you're both doing well. Let's see. Shane says, I don't keep folders in any of my bags. Those go in my pockets unless you count my Silky. Ooh, yeah. You got to have a Silky saw, too. They also make for great Pharaoh strikers. But you should also have a folding knife in your go bag in case you have to give one to someone else or you lose the one in your pocket. Just keep one in there. You won't be sorry you did. Pardon me. James Hart says, yes, the Swiss Army Deluxe Tinker has 2 blades, can opener, cap lifter, 2 flathead screwdrivers, mini pliers, and mini scissors. Oh, wait a sec. I thought the Tinker had a Phillips on the bottom. Okay, so when I reveal what I was carrying today, I think I might have misspoken. 1931 Leather Works, Terry. Hello, everyone. Hello, Terry. Nice to have you here, sir. I have been so greatly loving the sheath for my ESK tonight, and you'll all see that soon. Beautiful, beautiful job, and perfectly functional for exactly what I wanted. And hopefully in the future, with the homestead, we can come to a similar arrangement because I love how this works and how it looks and how it sounds and smells is pretty awesome too. An American Father says the RTAC 2 is a big want of mine. Yeah, it's an awesome knife. My brother drove his, well, no, it was his SE into his calf on a Father's Day years and years ago at this point, and had to be rushed to the hospital. He's a great guy, and as you know, and I'm not laughing at his misfortune, but we're far enough out that I think he laughs at it too. Michael Elliott says, I apologize. Correction needed. My SRK is in 3V, not Magna Cut. Tequila on the brain. SM8 is shaking my head. No problem. Yeah, that makes more sense. 3V. 3V. Do I have mine? No, of course. I only pulled out for fixed blades tonight, only double-edged. Obviously, the folders I have, not so much. But so I did not bring out my SRK or my Trailmaster. But I love those knives. I don't know why I'm saying that. Well, because of the last comment. Edgy American Blade says, Bob, it is weird that as a maker, I still acquire other makers' knives. Wait, Bob, is it weird that as a maker, no. I have a TKL Sapphire on the way. That's super cool. No. As a matter of fact, on Instagram, since for Instagram 2.0 for me, since I've been refollowing Cincinnati EDC. Great to have you here, sir. Happy Thursday, everyone. He says, #knife. Tonight's giveaway is only for gentlemen junkies. So #knife. This is the only night of the month it doesn't work. But good to have you here, Cincinnati. An American Father says, check GS knives out. They have some fixed blades that are right up your alley, all D2, and all are D2, and they claim that they're made in America. Their prices are very hard to believe. Yeah, all those things adding up, it's hard, Sometimes they'll say designed in America, assembled in China, or something like that. American Father says they have many models. Edgy American says, I'd have to see proof that these knives are US made. Highly, highly unlikely, says Shane. Shane's going to haunt that company now. Blessed EDC says, I need a solid survival knife. Ooh, who can argue with an Essie as a solid survival knife? But there are plenty of Tops knives that are great. I love Tops knives for their 1095 full tang goodness. Terminator Joe says, don't forget to pack a poncho or raincoat. Don't want to get caught in the storm. Yeah, I just bought this really awesome poncho that you can kind of it's got grommets, and you can kind of turn it into a little mini tent, or just a shelter, a little covering. It's really cool. I still haven't used it. I haven't used much of this stuff. I'm acquiring gear, and I'm like, yeah, someday I'll use it. And I'm hoping this spring it'll happen. Clark Henry, nice to have you here, Clark. Snake Staff Systems. Yes, that's it. Sorry, got to write this down. Lightning only strikes once in this mine. And Snake Staff Systems. Snake. This pen, dadgummit, going dry. Hang on. Let me just get this done, people. I don't mean to be antisocial here. Systems. EQT tourniquet. Okay. Dry as a funeral drum. All right, thank you. I appreciate it. That's awesome. I will move on that, because you never know. That would be a nightmare there. All right, Northern Knives. Good to have you here, Mike. Hello, Jim, Bob, and Junkies. I'm late to Thursday Night Knives as I was working on the new Paul Munko prototype. How sweet. Hope everyone is doing well. Great to finally grab a whiskey, a cigar, and sit down with y'all. Well, salud. Here's to you, and I hope you enjoy that whiskey and cigar. It'd be nice to, it would be nice to set up like some sort of a ventilation system in here so I could smoke a cigar as I talk to you, but that might be gross. You might not like that because I'm so close to you camera-wise. Hero Stick says, yes, on the American Blade Works 1 version 1. It's a fantastic, reliable, and versatile user, methinks. Oh, yeah. The reason I said a baller move is A, who has a V1? Not too many people. A, and B, a V1 Model 1. And B, who would put it in their go bag? It's the perfect choice for the reasons you outlined, but that's the kind of knife you want out so you can enjoy. I don't know. It's not a criticism. It's actually impressive. Tyler Durkee, nice to have you here, Tyler. I ordered a Fisker 7-inch saw, or a 10-inch saw. I just made 7-inch. They're awesome. I have I have 2 Fiskars axes that are for splitting logs, and I have one of their bigger hand saws, and it's so good. It zips through stuff, wood type stuff. Terminator Joe says, when it comes to fixed blades, I would add the Kershaw Camp 10. Yeah, those are cool. They're like barongs, or not barongs, but they're like bolos kind of. The off-grid Cayman XXL. Yeah, in case you have to stab a bar. And the Work Tough Night Hunter and the D-Bad Big Jim Bowie. Wow. Yeah, that Big Jim is cool. That's the Muso, I think, right? That big curved Muso Bowie. Misto Dokos, good to have you here, Misto. Go bag. At this point, I need a whole Forerunner to carry all this stuff I might need. Yeah, I hear you, man. But I do have a dedicated bag in it with the Condor K-Tac Kukri. That sounds cool. Along with my other stuff. Good evening, y'all. Good evening, man. Yeah, it's like the Forerunner, big enough to hold the Craftsman tool chests with the entire knife collection. Shane says, Bob, I bought another Reich P801B. That's a great knife. That and it reminded me that this is the greatest budget EDC knife ever made. Yeah, and it was a knife, a really, really early knife in the China makes great knives, guys. Period. Like, check it out. It's true. They really do. That was one of the first knives, ball bearings, and looked kind of, it's got classic lines. Almost people would say it looks like a Sebenza, maybe a little bit, but it had similar classic lines and all that. And obviously, if you've handled both, you know the difference, and it is radical, but great knife, the P801B. James Hart says, yes, the Tinker also has the Phillips. Okay. So I think I did, and the awl head. I love that awl with the eye for sewing and a hook, which you can use to remove pots with a bail from a fire. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, I always wondered, they call it a package hook, and I'm like, or a parcel hook, and I'm like, who's walking around? I wish we were, but who's walking around with like parcels with brown paper packages tied up with string? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I always pictured for the hook. But that's not on this one. You'll tell me what this is. I think this is either just a run-of-the-mill Tinker or something else. Benny's dad, good to have you here, sir. Howdy, everyone. Happy Thursday night knives. In my go bag, my Tom Barminski Hunter, a buck 110, and my old 1996 Leatherman multi-tool. That sounds perfect, though. I don't know who Tom Barminski is, but I trust you. I'm sure it's awesome. Mike says, I think the Ontario Rat 7 in D2 is a fantastic go bag knife for the money. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the Rat 7. Does that have a swedge, or is that swedgeless from there on? I know the 6 has a swedge, and I like it because you can double edge it. Cincinnati EDC says, I have an Ontario M9 for a few reasons in my go bag. A small fixie and a few cheaper Spidey folders in different packs. See, that's how I like to do it. Like, tuck little knives away. You never know. You might get separated from your pack and I have a couple of things in my pack that I might take out, put on my belt. Put a little knife in there just in case. You never know when you get separated from your gear. I don't know. It's just good to have lots of knives available. Ira Hayes says, can't say I keep many blades in a go bag. I'm already carrying them. If I have an SRK, If I have an SRK, it is worth getting is it worth getting the recon time? Yes, of course. Plus, think of it this way. You know the handle so well, just go to the other blade too, and then you'll see how versatile your system is. Kind of silly asking Junkie, I suppose. Yes, you choose your advice when you choose your advisor. I also pack a Turner CNC Ed Calderon T-Lac. Ooh, sweet. I love anything that says Turner CNC and Ed Calderon. This is a Turner CNC. I don't remember what it was called, but it's like a broadhead, like stabbing thing. Thomas Wheeler, nice to have you here, sir. Again, staring down that barrel. He says, evening all. Scott Winters says, sounds like you're talking about the soft tourniquet. Yes, it's a smaller than a cat tourniquet, and also there's a SWAT tourniquet, but harder to self-apply. I am talking about the snake staff systems, just because I remember the name. It stuck out in my head, and I was reminded of it. But no, I'm actually it'd be interesting to look at those others too, because the less bulky, the more often you're going to have it on you, and I want that too. Pardon me. OG Blade Reviews says a small go bag is quite useful as an EDC car bag, but have you heard of the concept of bug in as opposed to bug out? Oh, hell yes. And that's what I kind of see my whole house as a bug in bag. I started doing the bug out bag when I lived in New York City, actually, because you never knew. I mean, like, you could just get dragged out, immediately. I don't know, with no recourse and no car and none of that. So I feel like it was essential. It is essential in urban environments. I also feel it might be more essential maybe if you live in an apartment or a condo. But I don't know why I necessarily think that. Maybe just because I have a small plot of land around this house and that I could retreat to or whatever. I don't know. Any case, yes, bugging in. Yes, that is the plan. I've got gun ports all over this house. No, I'm just kidding. I don't. Northern Knives says, I apologize for the self-promotion, but I design and build 3-Dog knives with a go bag in mind. It's kind of a necessity here in the frigid north. Now, what is he talking about? Oh, I have their latest. I'm pretty sure this is still your latest, right? This thing is awesome. This is the Trevor Barrett designed 3-Dog knife made Champion's blade. A beautiful outdoors knife. It takes advantage of that sort of modernized Tonto profile to accomplish all sorts of outdoor tasks. I love that harpoon. It's just begging to be batoned upon. You got jimping here. You've got these things here. I'm not exactly sure what those are for. Maybe for striking a ferro rod, but there's coating here, so I don't know. I haven't actually tried that. This is still a virgin knife. My other, my Mac is the 3-Dog knife I've actually really, really used. My other two are kind of precious to me. This and the Riot, because they're also both the same. They're matchy. They're the same color scheme and everything. But anyway, these are really awesome knives. And the thing I like about this is that it's a small-ish. I mean, it's like a 6-inch blade, but the handle is long. So a big gloved handles can manage this easily without coming up on the edge. But also, you can kind of choke back here and really make a chopper out of it, a light chopper. And anyway, sweet knife, incredible sheaths from D. Johnston, maker from Alaska. And they're awesome no matter what design. I have 3 now, and I'm 100% convinced. So check it out. Oh, and if you do that, you save 25% off if you do that by going to TheKnifeJunkie.com/3-Dog-Knife and using coupon code KnifeJunkie at checkout. Do that. You'll be glad you did. I want to welcome a couple of new patrons. We had 3 new patrons this week. We have 3 tiers of support on Patreon. Traditional junkies, tactical junkies, and gentleman junkies. And we got a new traditional junkie this week, junkie Ryan Vest. Ryan, thank you so much, sir. And then we got two new gentleman junkies, Like It Sharp and Johnny Evans. Johnny, like it, good to have you here. And so the 2 of you gentlemen will be in the Gentleman Junkie giveaway tonight, which will happen in about a half hour. We're going to give this beautiful thing away. Woo-wee. I'm glad it didn't land on me, and I'm glad it landed pommel down. I will be careful. Manaja. So I did not hurt your knife, and I did not hurt myself. So we're all good. But this thing is super awesome, and I love it. I just want to thank you, Ryan Vest, Like It Sharp, and Johnny Evans for joining us on Patreon. Great pleasure. Jerry C., good to have you here, Jerry Google. Hello, Bob, Jim, and Junkie brothers and sisters. Thank God it's Thursday night. Junkie time, baby. Indeed, man. I love Thursdays. Marcus G. says, good evening, y'all. Good evening to you, Marcus G. SE6, Tom Brown tracker. I should get one, right? I should get a Tom Brown tracker style knife. Swiss Army knife, Super Tinker, Gerber multi-tool, and Cold Steel Spartan and extra mags. That's a nice setup. And I got to say, that Cold Steel Spartan is a great knife, because we all know it makes for a great weapony folder, but also with that recurve and that amazing handle that's not ever leaving your hand. Great for light utility chopping and small kind of that kind of task, especially I would imagine if you have a newer version that's fully flat ground as opposed to the older AUS-8 that I have that's deeply hollow ground, which is nice for slashing. An American Father says the Rat 7 no swedge is my EDC. Oh, that's nice. See, that's cool. You can tell that someone lives a very active lifestyle in the real world when their EDC is an SC7. Derek, for real, good to have you here. Derek, good evening. He says, good evening to you, man. Hope you're doing well. Boots on HOC, good to have you here, Boots on. County Com R4A fixed blade. Oh, I don't know what that is, but I love County Com. I haven't gone to that website in a long time, but they have such cool stuff. Watches, other gear, doodads, cool like EDC essentials. And this knife, R4A fixed blade, D2 blade shape, very close to Kephart. Who's familiar with them? Oh, ooh, I'm gonna have to look that one up though. Shane says, I'm conflicted by 1095 as a survival knife steel, but I don't want to hurt your feelings with facts. Okay. All right, Shane. No, actually, my mind could be changed easily. But I like it because I can take care of it because I'm a grown adult man. Tyler Durkee says, what would be a decent go bag? All right. Unlike what I have. Well, you know what? Actually, I do have I have a nice go bag. It's a, what is it? Hey, gummit. A red hawk or something. Dang. Okay. I don't remember that kind of, I don't remember the bags anymore. My point is it's voluminous, but it doesn't look tactical. That's what I hear. Hello, Gatito. Hello, peeps. Good to have you here, Gatito Malo. It's good not to look too tactical, is what I hear. Like have just a plain old backpack or a plain old shoulder bag or whatever. I have not followed that rule because when I bought my stuff, I was wanting it to look black and tactical or camo or whatever. But the next time I buy one, I'm going totally civilian, gray man. I know that's all kind of a joke, but seriously, they see some sort of a 511 tactical bag on you, they might actually assume that you're a tactical type. Edgy American says we should be very honest with ourselves about our abilities. Prepare accordingly. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And don't allow your anger, whatever your level of anger is, to affect your assessment of how good you are at fighting and how long you could actually last and how winded you get when and the older I get, the more that enters into my mind because yeah. Anyway, Todd Carr, I'm sorry, I'm ignoring these comments here. Todd Carr, evening. Good to have you here, Todd. Hope you're doing well. I hope you got that knife by now. Derek says, Knife Junkie, I thought it was dangerous with my blind butt using the table saw by myself. LOL. Be careful, buddy. Don't want to lose a digit. Yeah, no kidding. And I'm also glad it didn't land on the tip because the tip it's not too fine, but I have a history. I think I may have curtailed it, a history of breaking tips. El Gatito Malo says, while the bug out bag idea has been discredited because it would realistically not work, I do have a get home bag. Well, the get home bag might work. Like, really, the way I see it is, it's like a bag that you pack that just really has essentials in it, just in case you really do just or the house is on fire and you got to run out or whatever it is. But just like it doesn't have to be like, I'm going to survive after the apocalypse with this bag, which is what I used to think of. And it was like impossibly heavy. It's like 300 pounds of gear. And I'll need this Le Creuset and I'll need this, I'll need this blender. This Ninja blender is pretty awesome. So none of that. Todd Carr says, Bob, I got the knife in the mail yesterday. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. My pleasure, Todd. Thank you for your patience in waiting for it. Fishbag says, the Recon Tonto is one of my favorite cold steel blades. There's just something about the way it feels in my hand. I'm no expert, but the balance and the swiftness of the way it moves is just awesome. There's certain things you don't necessarily have to be an expert at. And I would say with the Recon Tonto, that one especially, just pretend this is one of those. If you hold it kind of down a little bit lower and use it like a drumstick and use that secondary bang, 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 you don't need to be that's not going to finish the fight. But I mean, that's a great tactic with that knife in particular. I used to have it. I gave that away. Mr. Mouse, good to have you here, Mr. Mouse. Good evening, Mr. Junkie. Good evening to you, sir. Hope you're doing great. Oh gosh, we got the mouse, and then we got El Gatito Malo. This is I don't know how that's going to work out. A quiet carry Rincon, a small fixie, level up knives, squall. What is that? I know I've seen this recently. Medium-sized bushcraft fixie, tops Baja 4.5. I will tell you another great tops for all around is the Tex Creek, and then there's the Tex Creek XL, which I bet is also awesome. But that Tex Creek, what a great knife! Split and Slices says an oldie but goodie for a go bag would be the TM Hunt M18, no doubt. But the price tag, I'd like 3V rather than 1095. Yeah, no doubt. He said, yeah, TM Hunt, he's a nice guy. He was on the show here a couple of years ago. He's like, I'll send you one. And I was like, sweet. But, people say that, and I don't hold them to it. That's, that's a lot. That's their livelihood. OG Blade Review says, Bob might have to add an incoming blade to that bag. North Mountain Terzuola M3A1 Battle Guard. I was just looking at that today. I was waiting for my daughter at school, picking her up, and I went to North Mountain Blades because today, later on in the day, when I went on that car trip, I had this in my pocket, and I was like, man, they make some cool stuff. What else do they have? Let's see, Boots on. Sorry, Boot. I recommend the County Com R4A very highly, a workhorse, not to be babied. Ooh, nice. Okay. I like that kind of knife. I like all kinds, but that kind of is in keeping with County Com's vibe, I would say. I remember seeing Steve Kalari a couple of years ago. I had dinner with him and a couple of other people at Blade Show, and he had a County Com pilot's watch that was super cool. Kyle Kunley, how you doing, sir? Voluminous but not tactical. Sounds like Shane. Hola, weirdos. How's it going, Kyle? Great to have you here, sir. Boy, man, I thought of a good sharpening challenge for you. I have a serrated blade. I was like, it'd be cool if this weren't serrated, but I don't know if I'm going to do that with that knife, and I don't know if that's the kind of job you would take. El Gatito, well, I'm sure it is. El Gatito Malo says they actually recommend to look as less tactical as possible. Yes, exactly. So even though your 5'11" pants actually might be your stretchiest, most comfortable pants, and that bag might have hold the gear the best, you might want to go out looking more like a schlub or a schnook. Gaston, good to have you here, Gaston. Hello, Knife Junkies. Hello, Bob. It's good to sit amongst such a group of noble men and women. I like where you went with that. I was like, such. You did. Thank you, sir. Derek For Real says, Bob, I'm not as good as I once was, but I can be as good once as I ever was. Yeah, exactly. That's good. That's like the bottle in front of me in frontal lobotomy. Edgy American Blade says, bugging out is absolutely possible, but only with skills and experience. It won't work for everyone, including me. Yeah, no. Oh, this is only if forced. Like, only if forced. My God. Yeah, just no amount of other people camping videos that I watch, and I watch a lot of them, is going to prepare me to actually be out there, certainly, and not in a survival situation with 3 other people and, presumably everything else going on. Gaston Garcia says, go bag and emergency bags. Yep. James Hart says, I've been using the G4 Free Sport Outdoor Waist Pack Tactical Sling Bag as my EDC bag since 2024. It's a very well-made bag. I use it on my bike. It goes with me everywhere I go. I've been wrestling with the thought of getting one of those for right here, but then I'm like, I don't know if I actually want to wear that thing across my chest. But interesting, and I've been considering that, and I'm looking further and further into it. Jay Wesley says, I remember, Jay, good to have you here, sir. I remember reading an account of the Kosovo Civil War. I read one years ago called I'm wondering if it's the same one. I'm sorry. The most valuable items were toilet paper and prescription medications. Put that in your bug out bag. No kidding. What was that? What was that book called? It was unbelievable. And Kosovo was a very, very Western country, just like we have right here. And man, that turned ugly. Whoa, like uglier than you can, like medieval ugly. And this guy, I remember in this book, Love Thy Neighbor was the name of the book. And he talked about the smell. Todd Carr says, not a go bag per se, but mine has a cold steel SRK in 3V. Nice. A Fiskars X7, a Silky Ultra Excel saw. Those Silky saws are awesome. I have a real small one. A Mora Companion. That's great. Why is the Mora Companion? Why does that not have a 90-degree edge? That drives me nuts. I know. I just have to fire up my sander, but a Reich Jaeger 14C28 and fire starting tools, etc. More of a safety bag when traveling. Yeah. I mean, it's the sort of thing to add comfort and survivability to your situation. It's not necessarily you are going to go survive with this stuff. It's a guarantee you will survive. It's just like a survivability enhancement bag. El Gatito says the lone wolf mentality won't work in a real world apocalypse. Building a community is where it's at. I very much have that feeling as well, and I just don't think it that you can remain hidden for that long. Maybe some people can. D. Letterman says, evening, gents. Mr. Letterman, great to have you here, sir. An American Father says, from a guy who spends nearly 175 days in the woods every year, you can realistically live in the woods with what you can carry. It all has to do with how solid your knowledge and skill set. Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure of that. No amount of gear is going to help you if you don't know what you're doing. For me, the thing is exposure. Like staying warm. How do you for more than 2 or 3 nights? How do you stay warm consistently? And I guess you got to build a great shelter. Blessed EDC says, I want to get a Recon Tonto to go with the Recon 1 Tonto I have. Oh, yeah. That's a great combo. It's only right. Derek Ninehouse. Good to have you here, Derek. I got about 8 or 9 knives, one AR-10 308. That's awesome. And a 55-pound bag from Kifaru. I'm not sure what that is. Kifaru. Rocking TKL FMF. Excellent choice. Accomplice Agent 5. Excellent. White River and Montana Knife Works white tail. I'm sure that's awesome. White Rivers are awesome. Of course, the Agent is amazing. The FMF, super awesome. I wish I could use mine, but it's a little too special. And the 308 AR-10, awesome. Gaston Garcia says, knife for emergency bags and for the car. Recon 1 Tonto. Excellent. Undisputed champion knife. No doubt about that. Sometimes I carry in bags the 810 Contigo. That is a great blade. The handle was always a little too much for me. Shameless plug, says Michael Elliott. If you all like the tracker style blade, the Gunfighter Customs Frank the Tank tracker is 5/16 of an inch thick. So that's like the thickness of a Natchez Bowie with a Western Bowie clip point. Oh, wait. Can be customized per preference. I want to see this knife. Frank the Tank. I know I have seen it, and I think I hefted it at the table, but now I'm trying to remember. Why do I not own one? Oh, I haven't gotten to it yet. Justin.musica, #knife. Justin, tonight is the one night where #knife doesn't work. J Demeter doesn't work unless you're a gentleman junkie. Tonight's our gentleman junkie knife giveaway, and this is the prize. To say thank you to our financial supporters. Hinderer Collector, man, it's been a while. Good to have you here, sir. Hello, Bob and Jim. Good to have you here, Brent. Always a pleasure, sir. Kyle Kunley says, Bob, just send me a message with a picture of it, and we can discuss. All right. Thank you. It's an armature. I'm thinking my drop point armature with the serrated clip and then the full serrated edge. I'm thinking the serrations just are not as aggressive as I was hoping for, and so we'll talk about it. Derek says, I hear you more. Am I yelling? I'm yelling. I'm sure I'm yelling. I'm excited. What can I say? And I've been drinking caffeine. Derek says, I hear you more than 50 or 65-pound bag a rifle is pushing it because I got to roll out and relocate. Kifaru packs, Mystery Ranch or Proper International. Yes, blend in Ranger Green, no cities. Yeah, no cities for sure. But wait, I'm still not understanding Kifaru packs. Is that super dense nutritional stuff that they give to people who are going abroad to help starving people? It's kind of almost like a triage food, super, super, super dense, super calorific in a small. Is that what that is? An American father says, I go out looking like a homeless hillbilly. Hey, that works. Yeah, that works. And people, that's the funny thing, is people tend not to want to mess with you or deal with you if you look undesirable in some way or other to them. El Gatito says, I found Swiss Gear backpacks to be of great quality and not look tactical as heck. Swiss Gear. Okay. Oh, sweet. Yeah, I have. That's what I put my laptop in for work. Mr. Dokos says, so I'm headed to Blade Show, Texas, Saturday. Ah, dude. Enjoy and Godspeed. Have fun. How do us knife junkies identify one another other than suspenders to hold up our haul? Ooh, that's a good question. Well, you could buy a T-shirt, but you're probably leaving tomorrow. Gary Balmain. Nice to have you here, Gary. Gary is a gentleman junkie and stands to win this beautiful folder. He says, howdy to all. Howdy to you, man. I guess it would be my Leatherman that I've had since 1989, incidentally, the year I graduated from high school. An Argentine Facon. Oh, those are cool. And Leatherman Raptor Rescue Shears. Ooh, those are cool too. I've gotten those I got those for a gift for a paramedic friend years ago. I guess my go bag is what I have close to me on a regular basis. That's true. Even my regular just going to work bag that I put my random everyday stuff in has all of this stuff in it also. So that's heavy. So yeah, I have redundancy built in everywhere. Ma Faiwani. Ma, good to have you here. Oh, Ma, it's good to have you here. I'm sure I'm just not. Do you have an emotional support bag, Bob? If you and if not, what would it be like? Funny you should ask. It would be. I kind of do actually. It's a waxed canvas haversack, no clasps or anything. Looks like you pulled it off a hobo, and it's got everything you would need if you wanted to go on a day hike and then accidentally got caught overnight, but not too much. It's not too heavy or too big, but I know I could make it one night and survive warmly for one night. And I like the way it looks. Feels good, no matter how heavy it is. It just sits right. I like it. Derek says, Bob, I know that frontal lobotomy. Oh, frontal lobotomy joke. Yeah, that's well. Yeah, I had a my good friend growing up, my best friend growing up. His grandfather was cool, and he was full of old timey sayings, and that was one of them. Well, he used to say, "I'll be hog swallowed. I'll be hog swallowed," and rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy. You're slicker than two eels in a barrel of snot. He said all sorts of stuff. James Hart says, "Oh, you can wear the bad as the bad as a shoulder bag or a fanny pack." Oh, cool. Okay, it's not really a sling bag. Okay, all right. That's it's something that you can easily open up and bring stuff to bear. I'm headed to Blade Show, Texas tomorrow. We'll miss you. Damn. Gary, have fun, and I know everyone's going, and next year We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Because last year I said next year, and it's next year. Cesario, and I'm sitting here unpacked because I'm not going. No, I'm just kidding. Cesario Atan says, it doesn't hurt to have a plan to bug out, but I constantly need to work on my skills. You're right, but I think you have to be realistic. Where I live, no way. No way. It's too crowded. People are too cutthroat here already. And the highways would become kill corridors as far as I'm concerned. They practically already are. So, like, no. I'm bugging in and hunkering down, locking and loading, going to Home Depot, buying a lot of wood, boarding up the Sean Clark says, I don't have a go bag, but now I'm going to make one and put my TRC Apocalypse and apocalyptic finish. The way things are going to be like Red Dawn. Yeah. And, I like how you're on theme, so that when you're surviving with that knife, you'll be like, isn't it funny I brought the apocalyptic finish in? It really is the apocalypse. Derek says, yes, Silky or Estwing hatchets made in Rockford, Illinois. I didn't know that. My dad used to watch the Rockford Files. I love my Estwing axe. I have a big Estwing axe. It's awesome. Miss Todoko says, Gary Balmain, just leave me something to pick up Saturday. Headed to see Hog Tooth first. After that, we'll see what happens. Ooh, well, since you said Hog Tooth, let me show you my Hog Tooth Bowie. I have this out tonight. And yes, it is double-edged, and that's why it's out on the table tonight. I don't know why I just felt like it, but just double-edged. Hey, how's it going, Will? How it works? Hi, my fellow blade enthusiasts. Cannot stay tonight, but get home. Car knife is the Tops Anaconda Hunter 9-inch. Very cool. I like that knife. I split an entire tree stump with it one time, so I know it can handle anything. That's awesome, man. Nice choice. Tops knives, can't go wrong. But since you're going and making a rush to Hogtooth knives, I just decided I'd put some Hogtooth eye candy out for you while I read Hinderer Collector's comment. Bob, I want you to Bob, I want to you my ultra. I think you're saying I want to send you, or no, I think you're saying I want to gift you my ultra rare Hinderer. I accept. Oh God, that's so nice. No, I don't know. What's the verb here? Let me know. You want to send me? You want to loan me? Because I would love to check out an ultra rare Hinderer. And then also maybe drop the Project X in there. I'd always wanted to check that one out too. But Brent, I really appreciate you mentioning that. All jokes aside, get in touch with me, TheKnifeJunkie@gmail.com, and let me know what you're talking about. That would be awesome. Split and Slices says, at this point, I just bug out to the woods and start one of those underground woodcraft shelters from YouTube. They only take like 4 to 8 minutes to build. If I finish, great. If not, enjoy a half-done shelter. Don't mind the heart attack corpse. Byron, I'm with you, man. And you've seen those guys, how quickly, completely, and warm and toasty they make those shelters. And it doesn't take long. And the sun never goes down, which is amazing, until they're finished. Gaston Garcia says, I agree that the 810 Contigo's handle is over the top and uncomfortable. I sanded mine, made it feel great in hand, and now it's great. I tend to mod knives to fit my needs. I love that. I think that's great. Derek says, I think a good flat grind blade is a must for hunting. Good food prep work plus a bushcraft knife. At least 2 knives and a rifle. At least 2 knives, definitely. Yeah. Fishbag says, I've been an outdoorsman my entire life. I have some knowledge, but guys my age ain't bugging out too far unless we're packing our CPAPs and some batteries. That's right. Bug in. Unless you live, I don't know. I think Kifarus are backpacks. Okay. Oh, they're not nutrient-rich bars that the Peace Corps brings to starving kids? Okay. Mr. Mouse says, all right, backpacks. I got to shift that in my head. Mr. Mouse says, got my fixed Contigo from Northern Knives last December. Oh, that That's cool. I think I remember that. I've been haunting Northern Knives Exchange for a while. Michael Sawyer, good to have you here, Michael. I keep an SRK-C in the trunk and an SRK in the nightstand. Gifted my brother the matching Recon 1 Tonto. That's so cool. He keeps it in his nightstand too. Dispatched a snake that came through the doggy door at midnight. Oh, how cool. My good buddy at work, I gave him a knife. It was a 6-leaf, and he loves that knife. And he dispatched a snake in his basement with it not that long ago. But it took 2 people, one guy to hold the snake down with a broom and him to cut its head off. Hero Stick says, don't have one, but want one, and could see the Station 9 Partisan as a good option for a go bag. Yeah, I have the Sear knife from them in my main haversack, my bigger bug out bag. Kifaru is made in Wyoming, USA, says Derek. It's a rugged hunting pack. It doesn't look tactical like an army pack. Food, that's key. Either have it with you 3 days to 5 days, hidden, or know how to hunt and forage. Yeah. And remember, if you're living in suburbia, there's not much to hunt and forage, and there are other people in the same boat, a lot of other people in the same boat. So that's something that always concerns me. Craig says, super calorious. Bob, you're scaring me. Unless, of course, you meant to sound like Bobby Poppins. I don't know who Bobby Poppins is, but Craig, I'm 100% into making up words as I go. If everyone gets it. Boots On says redundancy. 2 is 1 and 1 is none. Oh, Mary Poppins. Okay, thanks, Jim. Yeah, I agree with you on your mathematics. Also, by the way. Oh, very nice. Lakeside. I like. You got a 119, a 110, and a Agent 004 in that picture. That is a sweet, sweet setup. And an American flag, of course. Evening, Bob. Evening to you, man. Hope you're doing well. And everyone, knives and shields. Love those knives. An American Father says, when I pack out with my favorite goat, Gotti, she usually wears a set of saddlebags from my grandpa's Indian. How cool. Indian motorcycle, presumably. I can feel him riding along. How beautiful is that? I love that. I love that. We're very sentimental in my family. My older daughter loves anything Jack Wolf Knife. She just loves Jack Wolf Knife. And I was like, why do you love him so much? She's like, because he named it after his grandfather. That's just so sweet. And I'm like, yeah, that is. I love that. Ira Hayes says, y'all talked me into it. Just got a $38 Recon Tonto on sale from Midway USA. Another great place to buy cold steels is Chicago Knife Works. You just got to wait until they get around to sending it to you, but you can get a good deal from them. El Gatito Malo says, they say it's good to have a meetup spot in case shit hits the fan. You can meet up with family if there's no way of communicating. Yep. Jim and I know all about this topic, this subject matter. Make a plan and make a kit. Stay informed. Gaston Garcia says, in my car, Recon 1 Tonto, Cold Steel Ultimate Hunter, small silky saw, fire starters, a bit of rope, plus a Leatherman Charge TT. This is always there. So Gaston doesn't have a bug out bag. He's got a bug out car, which I love. Staten Island Edge, nice to have you here, Victor. Good evening, fellas. No matter what, it's always good to be prepared. I agree with you 100%. I feel like the world is on fire, and all this bug out talk makes me a little edgy. I pray it never happens. Girl dad, 10 times heavier. Yeah, no kidding, man. But don't worry. This is too. Show. Okay. This is too. It's gonna have to wait though, because I got a couple of things I got to do first. This is what happens when you have too many knives and you start trying to justify them. You're like, oh, I'll make kits, and you like gear, and it's more about making kits. Yeah, they're there to bug out if you need them, but the fact is, you make them and you just have them around. because you do need this stuff. You do need to make fire. You do need to light a fire every once in a while. You do need a Band-Aid every once in a while. You do need a knife every once in a while. So really, we're talking about pumped up EDC bags in a way. Chris Dick, good to have you here from Germany. Good to have you here, man. Where in Germany? I've been there numerous times, and I love it. Misto Dokos says, Bob, I have to thank you for turning me on to The Ruffian several years ago. Oh, my pleasure, man. It's a constant and capable companion. Need to see what Matt's been up to at Blade Show. Oh, man. I know he's gonna have some sweet daggers. I think from him, that's the next thing I get. I mean, he and I have been talking for years about I want him to make me a big Viking like Brokeback sax with a big stag crown handle. But I think before we get there, there are a couple other things I want to get from him. And yeah, that one of his daggers. They're beautiful. And then you add his leather. His leather sheaths are incredible. Staten Island Edge says, I watched every episode of every season and spinoff of The Walking Dead. I know how this ends. Oh, by the way, an SE5, an SE5 and a chunky Leatherman. Yep. SE5, perfect size. What time is it where you live? It is 11 p.m., 11 in the evening right now. 11 at night. And I bet where you are, it's like 5 in the morning. 4. It's 4 in the morning where you are, right? 4. Edgy American Blade Works says, if I bug out, you won't find me more than a mile from my truck. Yeah, no kidding. You're not going to find me more than a mile from this house. Bartholomew Roberts says, Bob, been looking hard at the BBNM. It's so good. You'll love it. Why did you go Tonto instead of Drop Point? Well, okay, I'm going to be a bit of a jerk, Bartholomew. That's a clip point. It's a beautiful one. And just this very same day, I was thinking about buying it. But this Tonto right here, I love. It is. I've always wanted a Strider Tonto. I've never had one. I've only had 3. Well, I've had 2 Striders and 1 Protec Strider. And they've all been that same drop point, just a spear point. This one is beautiful. I always thought the Tonto was cool. I like the way it's a drop point Tonto with a centerline point. I like the 2 straight edges. This knife is so good. I love this thing. Whether you get the clip point, which I guess they're calling a drop point, or this Tonto, you will not be disappointed. I mean, it's built like a tank, like we used to say a lot about our knives. It really is. The lockup is bank vault tight, like we used to say a lot about our knives, and it really has nice detent, and that super smooth bronze washer action. I highly recommend it. And the other one, I find the clip point is very, very attractive too, but I just had to get the Tonto. I wanted a Strider-esque Tonto for ages. Hero Stick says, living on a boat. I forgot about that. That's so cool. We have such cool people here. We have a shepherd who lives in the woods. We have a guy who lives on a boat, a hero who lives on a boat. Let's see. Living on a boat, my bug out plan is waterbound. Just need to figure out reliable and ongoing diesel heist. Yeah, man. Oh, that's like World War Z, the book. I don't know. The movie was pretty different, but I think it was World War Z. The whole thing about getting a boat and how the corpses could still walk underwater. And Jesse, good to have you here, Jesse. Evening, all evening. My gosh, I'm running behind. This happens a lot. Edgy American says, I've got 50 pounds of rice and beans buried in a PVC tube by a remote creek. I hope it's there when I die. In my VED, oh man, that's a great idea. I've thought about doing that with weapons, but if I had a lot of weapons, I'd do that. Get a big PVC pipe and put some weapons and some magazines and bury them somewhere. I just don't have those things. And in my state, that's not going to be very possible for very long. I guess I should start splurging, but it's not my thing. We are up to 46,000 subs. How cool is that? 46,000 subs. Pretty sweet. When we get to 50,000, it's going to be even sweeter because the great and powerful Dirk Pinkerton is going to make us a custom fixed blade knife. I'm going to give it to you right here. And this will be open to anyone who is a subscriber to the channel. You don't have to be a member or anything. So 50,000, this is, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you tell your friends, your family, tell everyone, tell your boss. It'll reflect so well back on you that you are a fan of the show. I'm sure he or she is already a fan of the show, but they will think like, wow, okay, so this guy really knows what he's talking about. I'm going to promote him. And in the meantime, you'll get a new subscriber, and we will get to 50,000 subs. And I don't know what that knife will be, but it'll probably be double-edged because Dirk does a lot of double-edged knives. And I want to give it away. So we're doing it. We're doing it. So subscribe, and you can get something like that. Dirk's knives. They're so good. And again, double-edged. I'm just going to put this on the table so you can look at it while I talk. What else we got here? Oh, that's right. We're getting late. That said, let's get to a pocket check.
What's in his pocket? Let's find out. Here's the Knife Junkie with his pocket check of knives.
In my front right pocket, I've been carrying this one a lot. This and the Microtech SOCOM Ramlock have been taking my pocket space up mostly. This one got a little bit of a cardboard workout today and a couple of days ago too. I was anxious to try this new Polaris XL from Off Grid Knives on cardboard because I love Off Grid knives for cardboard. Those wide blades, those steep grinds, those tall grinds, those super thin behind the edge dimensions and geometry, and the thin blade stock. Just match made in heaven, or a combination made in heaven for breaking down cardboard and cutting, slicing through things, which is what knives are primarily built to do. But Off-Grid just does it really well. And this one happens to be a Kunwu build. This is like a beautiful, this is their top ever. They have a top tier that they call their Elite Series, and those are great knives, but this beats those. You've got that beautiful titanium bolster, the Red Dawn carbon fiber, the thin blade, the awesome action. The blade, by the way, 4 1/4 inches long. Can you believe that? 4 1/4 inches. Such an awesome size. That means this is an XL. That means there's going to be an L and a medium or a small like this. I believe this design has legs. So anyway, carried this one today. Absolutely love that knife. Next up, I carried my Victorinox Tinker and used it. The reason I selected this is I was moving some clips around on some fixed blades, some EDC fixed blades, and I really like the screwdriver on the Tinker, especially the Phillips, the full Phillips, and I like the orientation. I like that sort of perpendicular orientation of the handle for the task of like holding a knife like this. And you know, if you what am I trying to say? If you have to hold one side of the screw down and then screw something else in on the other side, this is great for that. So Victorinox Tinker. It's also a Bigfoot edition because I'm a Bigfoot nerd. I like hearing stories about it. And when I saw this, I bought it. So sue me. And then, of course, those danglers. Those danglers are awesome. You can get them in like 4-packs, I think, on Amazon. And it's totally gotten me to carry my Victorinoxes. They're not just desk knives now. They dangle in the pocket. They don't fall into the bottom of the pocket and land sideways and do all that. They just dangle nicely. And I bet you could dangle other stuff from those little clips. So check them out. They're great. Next, I carried this for the first time in a long time on my belt because I finally figured out how to fasten it to my belt. I went through numerous different clip solutions, quote unquote, to get this anomaly by Bastinelli by Bastinelli Knives, collaborating with Doug Markita. They made 4 different blade shapes for this handle. This is the Pakal shape. Love this. Got this custom wrapped by Bastien, and it's beautiful, that maroon. This knife is really cool. I haven't carried it in ages because it just did not, the way this oddly shaped sheath, this is a custom sheath, so it's different from the Fox made one. And the layout of the grommets is awfully weird. And the best thing I could do for a long time was a soft loop, a soft IBW loop. And then it would, you would put it on the belt and it would do this. The IWB loop. It would go. Oh, like that. And I'd be walking around with a knife like that. And this is not the image I want to put forth. So I would just never carry it. And then today it occurred to me, what about paracord? I've been having such success with this. I carry this thing a lot. It just goes on the belt and it gets lost. I bet if I change this to black instead of purple, it'd be even more lost on the belt. But it's a great way to carry. And I think that the paracord is going to be the solution to a number of mounting issues I've been having lately. Okay, and last, my ESK, my emotional support knife, was the beautiful Edgy American Junkie with the 1931 Leatherworks sheath that has been amazing. This thing is awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at the black stitching. Like straight as an arrow. Really well done. I said I want it mounted kind of at a cant anywhere on my belt, so he made the loop on both sides so that it can slide anywhere. And I've been carrying this thing. I have not carried it in public yet. I have, just not like out to stores and stuff. I have to figure out how to stash it on my body without it poking out. I think I can all the way in the back Scout, but I don't like to carry Scout. But anyway, this has been on me and accompanying me ever since I got it. I love it. This is Crewwear 63, I think. HRC, super hard, super incredibly sharp. Designed by, this is a sketch on a piece of paper that I gave Shane. Shane put his magic to it and did a beautiful creation. It was sharpened by Kyle and Kunle. And then the leather sheath made by Terry of 1931 Leatherworks. It's a true collaboration that I love it. I love this knife. It's like a total small EDC Viking knife. So anyway, this is what I had on me. You guys let me know what you were carrying as I put these things away. The Junkie, the Edgy American Junkie, the Anomaly from Bastinelli Knives and Doug Markita, the Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive Bigfoot Tinker, and the awesome Off-Grid Knives, Polaris XL. All knives I highly recommend. Definitely. I think a lot of people here will like that Polaris. So go check it out. Mr. Doko says, but I do love that damn ruffian from Hog Tooth. I got a Winkler operator last year. Like it, but the ruffian is just a great tool. Yeah, I like Winkler knives too, but they're a little different. The Hog Tooth is going to be slicier. And that hollow grind is just so good. El Gatito Malo says, my combat vet buddy said he wouldn't mind eating human if shit hit the fan. Said he'd start eating butt cheeks right away. That's funny. Yeah, like they did in that Peruvian soccer team, or what, you know what I'm talking about. Argentinian soccer team. Yeah, you start with the butt, because I think that's where the 7 layers of muscle there, something like that. Autumn Wind. Nice to have you here, Autumn Wind. And by the way, one of my daughters, when I tell scary stories, I'm not allowed to mention cannibalism. Anyway, Autumn Wind, nice to have you here, sir. Jerry C says, have been working on 2 go bags, one for the house and one for the truck. The 2 is one mindset, just the basics, and better to have and not need than need and not have. SRKs in both. Like the cut of your jib, Jerry. I got to pull my get home bag out of my car. I haven't looked in it in a couple of years at this point. Pardon me. I got to make sure that everything in there is still, that I still think everything in there is necessary, and see if it needs an updating or a refreshing. Lakeside says, thanks, Bob. Daily carry today, Camillus Rise Fixed Blade, Send Cut Olight Daily Carry Pack is a Carhartt laptop backpack. Holds up really well, inexpensive. I have bug out truck. Everything is in there. Yes, that's the way to go. And then just make sure that it's always locked. Cesario says, my body usually reminds me that I can't do the things I used to. Yeah. It took my fellow junkies to remind me tonight. I appreciate y'all. Yeah. Todd Carr says, got into making those survival kits in an Altoid tin. I have a number of those too. A few years back, LOL, must have repacked it a couple of 100 times, trying to fit as much as possible in one. Then realized I have a car. Todd, that's so funny. Like I gotta get this little titanium whistle for $20. It'll fit in this little Altoid tin. It's like, what? But Lakeside says, I have fun making different kits. I think a lot of us dorks do. Not that you're a dork, sir, but I speak for myself. Matt says, what up, Bob? Matt Maurer, how you doing, sir? James Hart says, well, I've sold 4 or 5 knives I've put up for sale. That's awesome. The one that has not sold, the Buck 620 Campmate. I'm trying to sell down my collection, but it's not easy. Look who you're talking to, man. I feel your pain. Fishbag says, Bob, I live in a senior community, and I'm one of the youngest residents. That's how my parents started in their senior community. My survival plan is to outlast the geezers and scavenge all the cat food. Yes, I think that's a solid plan. Edgy American Blades, what are you doing, man? Thank you so much. Bob, I have some sore IFAC pouches. Oh, I don't know what that is. If you'd like to give one away tonight, I will ship it. Great starter kit. What is this? Sore IFAC pouch. Okay. We'll give one away. I think that's actually, let's do this next week so that Jim and I can set this up. We'll do this next week. We'll give away this Sore IFAC pouch, and I'll figure out what this is. And we'll give that away. That sounds awesome. But okay, so let me salute you then, sir. And since everything out here is double-edged, you're getting a double-edged salutation. And please excuse the growing stuffy nose. The nose that is growing stuffy. Here you go, right here. This is the Attention to Detail Mercantile Medium Fighter, double-edged. One of my favorites. I think my first custom knife, period. I picked it up from Douglas Esposito at his jiu-jitsu studio when he still lived in Northern Virginia. He now lives in Mississippi or Missouri. I can't remember where he moved. But this thing is so awesome. It is so awesome. And he's not doing fixed blades anymore. He's making these exquisite folders, worth every penny, no doubt. Beautiful things. But his awesome fixed blades have gone away for the most part. So I'm so happy. I have this beautiful crown spine, gorgeous tortoiseshell handle, imitation tortoiseshell, of course, very sharp hollow ground main edge, and then a very sharp secondary edge, also hollow ground, crowned all the way around, comfy in the hand. Just an awesome knife. I salute you, Shane. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. The $5 super chat, but also this offer right here. We are going to put this offer to use next week. The Sowar IFAC pouch. So I better write that down. There's no way on earth I'm going to remember that. Sowar IFAC pouch. I love Sowar pouches. Great brand. Okay, it's a brand. IFAC pouch. I pack pouches too. I pack these right here. I think these are the best. I'm just kidding. I love these Maxpeditions. Hero Sticks says heading out to the Olympic rainforest. Oh God, this summer, Bob. We'll let you know if it gets squatchy. That sounds so beautiful. And yeah. Yep. Just be alert and just listen for quiet. My pocket carry today, says Shane Kimber CDS9. I don't know exactly what that is, but I know that Kimbers are awesome. And it probably looks like a 1911. Edgy American Blades Rimfire. That's a cool knife. And that cool little knife you showed me before. And the Night Core Torch. Sounds good, man. Edgy. Shane's working on some magic that he's going to send our way at some point soon here. 1931 Leatherworks. Terry says, I'm glad you like the sheath, man. Oh, yeah. It's the one that you made for the homestead was great. I loved it. But this one's like another level. So your improvement is visible. 65 HRC. Okay. 65 HRC. I will never, ever have to sharpen this knife. Ever. Well, like, when would I ever have to sharpen this knife? It's got an incredible edge. It's crew wear at 65 HRC. I guess with the way I use knives, the answer is never, legitimately. Lakeside says that Edgy American Junkie is awesome. I agree. It is awesome. And he really fixed the handle. He didn't fix the handle. He just tweaked it so that it's so much more comfortable. It's so comfortable in hand. Sup, says Cliff Brot. Cliff, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. Byron says Kerry is the off-grid knives all-day necker, a perennial favorite for Byron. The Spyderco Police 4 and the traditional pocket knives, Ohio River Jack 2-blade. Oh, that's cool. That was somewhat rare. That 2-blade. You mentioned the Police. I brought out my classic Police. I brought out folders that have inspired me over the past, 6 months or so. And this definitely has been one of them. I love this old school Spyderco here. That blade is excellent and those serrations are incredible. Taking orders for a future batch of junkies. We are excited for that. That's awesome, man. Alive, great movie. Yes, Alive, that's what it was called. Not to be mistaken with It's Alive, which scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. Like, for years, scared the crap out of me. Chilean soccer team, says Ira Hayes. They didn't even know how to dig a snow shelter, according to the movie anyway. Rest in peace. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, can you imagine? There are probably fewer things more horrifying than being in a plane that's crashing, but then add freezing and starvation and cannibalism, and that's a terrible trip. And I don't mean to make light of it. That's a terrible, terrible trip. Wrath Mall, good to have you here, Wrath. My go-to fixed blade is my go-to fixed blade go bag is Lion Steel M5. Lion Steels, man, they make some beautiful, beautiful knives. Who's I looking at today? Stiletto. There's a guy I follow called, is his name Stiletto? Yeah. And he showed a beautiful Lion Steel folder the other day that I was like, man, I need to pay attention to them more. Northern Knives says, carrying a Chavez Redemption auto made by ProTech. Oh, I've seen those. They're beautiful. Yes. And a tactile turn zirconium pen, a loop gear flashlight, and a zero tolerance ZT 0230 slip joint Anzo design. I remember that one. All right, the time has come. We have to give this knife away. I am ready to give this away. I've been putting it off because I don't want to part with it. It is a thing of beauty. It's also in my hands, and now it's going to leave, and I have to get another one. This is the Auxiliary Manufacturing Deadhead Series Pocket Bowie frame lock, OEM'd by Miguron. beautifully done. Great, great detail, incredible action for any knife, but I always find incredible action on small knives suspicious. I'm always like, oh, this must be loose, but no, it is just glassy, glassy action and really great in the hand. This little corner here of this coffin-shaped handle nestles right in the palm of your hand, and your thumb just kind of follows right up. In a saber grip, it's so comfortable. In reverse grip, if heaven forbid you need it in reverse grip, it's really comfortable. I adore the Coffin series by Michael Jarvis. I have a few of them: a custom fixed blade, a custom large, and then a production small version. Here's the box. I'll put this on the box as we pull up the names of you awesome gentlemen junkies. All right, let me get a little something to wipe my nose with. It's getting itchy. All right, let's start. Gentlemen junkies, thank you, patrons and members here at YouTube. 5-Door, Adrian Fighter 35, Ben Belkin, Byron Kennedy, Cesario, Colin Maison Pierre, Craig Vincent, Dion Page, Dirk Pinkerton, Donald Fry, Doug Bull, Gary Balmain, Hero Sticks, Jay McConnell, Jamin Parker, Jason Small, Jeff Wright, Jeremy Giroud, Jesse Graybear, Jesse Graybear, Jesse Tellis, Jock's Knife, John Marchell, Johnny Evans, JVF, Larry Elizondo, Like It Sharp, new member, Martin Gamboa, Matthew Lamana, Maya Umu, Michael Elliott, Master Sergeant Poppy, Never Enough Knives 007, Ronald Reimer, Ryan Lynch, Scott Nelson, Sean Wolford, Sean Harmon, Stephen Michael Robert, Thomas Butler, V2, thanks, Dad, Victor Salameni, Northern Knives, Will B, Jacob Vargas, Transmaster, Terminator Joe, Commander Bell, 1965, Edgy American Blades, and American Father, Hero Sticks, Jennifer J, 4101, Mailbox 32, Kill Kenny, Sean Clark, and Angry Tom's Hat Next Door. My goodness, thank you, one and all. Your generosity is, I was just reading all those names, man, it makes me, it's humbling. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much, as does Jim. All right, Jim, let's bring up the wheel, shall we? Let's give this sucker away. And I got my Post-it note ready so I can write down who wins. Now, whoever does win, hopefully you're watching tonight, you will send me your address and your email. There are some people who are in that list I mentioned who have never sent me their address all along. And I've asked for addresses so I can give stickers and coasters and stuff. So please, please, please let me know if you won tonight. All right, let's roll in 3, 2, and 1. I said that like a newscaster. Did you hear that? All right, here we go. Oh, who will it be? It is Jeff Wright. Jeff Wright. Congratulations, good Jeff Wright. All right, this is going to Jeff. All right, this is going to Jeff Wright. Sounds good. I will get that in the mail, possibly, hopefully, tomorrow, if Jeff Wright sends me his address. All right. Always good to get a Gentleman Junkie giveaway done, and that means there's going to be something in another month. So every third Thursday of the month, we give one away to, there he is, Jeff Wright. You just won, Jeff. Today, it was my Turner CNC Jackalope XL. Beautiful. Turner Elvia V1 and V2. Also, Elvia C. Holy mackerel. A Shivworks Shiv Pick single edge and a double edge. 3 of my own failed negotiation pick haul tops, Pioneros. Oh, man, that's awesome. I have your failed negotiation pick hauls. How cool. All right, Jeff, I do have your address, I believe, but you did win the knife tonight, so congratulations, sir. Todd Carr says, Leatherman Surge and Extras, SOG PowerPoint, Swiss Army Knife Fieldmaster, Cold Steel AD10 S35 VN, Petrified Fish Victor K110, what a cool knife that is, Demco Nano Shark 20 CV, 5th pocket, I don't know what that is. PBK. It's something knives. Pocket Lucky in S35VN, Olight I3T, and arc-filled UV with a Hank. PBK. What is that? Oh, how can I not know that? BS69, Cliff B, D Letterman, Edgy AB, Greg V, etc. All in tonight. Kyle Kolinsky, 1931, HC41, Greg V. Awesome, dude. Let's see. Cesario says, got my Riot on my front, my Wild Pig Hunter under my arm. I like that. Oh, I see how you did that. That's cool. And my Buck 110 on my work table. Very nice, man. Ready to go. Staten Island Edge says, today, new Kaiser Harpoon folder, Norplex micarta and titanium L-Max, super thin, hollow. Today, new Kaiser Harpoon folder, Norplex is what the folder is called. I think micarta and titanium L-Max, super thin, hollow, about 8 inches overall for $129. Not bad. And in my left pocket, leather slip hedgehog QSP M390. In my opinion, something number one cardboard. Oh, in my opinion, number one cardboard destroyer. Very cool. QSP hedgehog is awesome. I prefer the one with the straight razory type blade. That's the one I have. I love it. Edgy American Blade says, I can join next week and show the spare pouch I have to give away. That sounds great. That sounds awesome. Boots On says, Bob, are you a fan of the Kephart Camp Bushcraft style camp blade? I am, but not historically. I have only recently become interested in them. And I have two knives that are Kephart inspired. And they're called the Ridgeback from Off Grid Knives. I have one that has a Scandi grind that's kind of heavy and kind of blade heavy, and then one that's fully flat ground that is incredible, and I really like it. And when I first got it, I was like, it's kind of plain, and I like tactical blades, but now I've gotten much more into, I like outdoors knives a lot. And funny enough, I don't have really any out on the table because I said only double edge on the table tonight for some reason. But yeah, I like those kind of knives now. Hero Stick says, carried the Pete's Pirate Life Harpoon fixed blade and something obscene company mini J cape today. That J cape is so sweet. Desert Trance, nice to have you here, Desert Trance. The Salute blade looks like my Compliance Edge blade, but bigger. Yeah, it kind of has that same bayonet ground blade. Yeah. Blessed EDC says, I love the handle. Yeah, I love the handle on that thing too. Wow, that tortoiseshell fixed blade is gorgeous. That is a dual edge. Yeah, that's a dual edge. I had to ask him to put it on there, and he double checked. You sure you want that? I'm like, yeah. Individual First Aid Kit, IFAC stands for. Thank you, James. I appreciate you, man. Oh man, it's springtime, and I went a little ham with the fishing gear acquisitions, as I'm prone to do. The result is I may actually have to sell a few knives. Inner hobby conflict is a damn curse. What are you looking to sell? I'm curious, Fishbag. You can mention it here. Maybe someone wants to buy it. Vorpal Blades. Nice to have you here, Vorpal Blades. Mora Companion HD. Very nice. And I like that double bit axe. Is beautiful. Jay Wesley says, best place to sell automatic out the front knives? To sell them? Right here. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. See, that's my probably Reddit. I don't go on Reddit. I'm a 54-year-old man. What do I know from Reddit? And I have a hard time selling these knives. I have some knives I'd like to, liquidate, but yeah, where do you sell them? I've asked that question for years and years, and I've gotten many answers, and I've never actually done anything about it. Matholomew says, today's carry, Concept Bison. Very nice. I have my Bison out, as it's been one of the blades over the past year that's really wowed me. I love this thing. Concept Bison, DeMarco Shark Cub, Petrified Fish Ripple, and TKL Knives 004. Funny you should mention the 004. I have that right here too, because I have a bunch of TKL knives out here. But this one, look how beautiful that is. This is the Puko version of the Agent series. I have the Agent 001 here. This is my design is the one that started it all. Of course, I have to say that every time. I hope you don't think I'm an egomaniac, but it just feels good to say that. And it's cool to see other blades, in the series. And this one is so cool. It's this little sub 3-inch blade. It's a Puko style blade. So inspired by Northern European utility knives. But it has that super useful tactical handle that also the thumb ramp acts great as a little hammer, by the way. I found that out with my Agent 002. And then I also have this out on the table, the Gideon V3. Jammin Parker, one of my awesome patrons. He gave me this as a gift. And then got a couple of these. I'm showing you these because I also have a coupon code here. We have a lot of different coupon codes, but I push the ones that really mean a lot to me, like Northern Knives and like TKL Knives, because I believe in the product so much. I love the product so much. This is the Combatant, the second version of the Combatant with the swedge and the more fine blade. If you want a TKL knife, consider going to TheKnifeJunkie.com/TKL and using TheKnifeJunkie at checkout, and you'll save 10%. Consider it. It's you might find it worth it. Look at that thing. This thing is so beautiful. I love this series of knife. And now there's a Scout version of this, so it's got more of a sheep's foot blade. We know there's the Warncliffe in the Adversary. And I think there's a fourth one now, but I don't know. So TKL knife, so good, so good. I love them. And this little guy here, this is the DP1. This was the little knife that he just came out with last year, based on the very first knife he ever made. And he made that knife for his father-in-law. And so this was an update. And so kind of a cool sentimental tale behind it. This one in particular is lacking the usual slab handle scales. And you can see the Knives by Nuge logo there because he's the one who did this beautiful jute wrap. So it's nice and thin. It's got this gorgeous badger claw sheath. I love badger claw stuff. And yeah, there you go. Drop it in the pocket. Good to go. Outdoors Addiction. Nice to have you here, Outdoors Addiction. Hello, everyone. Well, hello to you. Hope you're doing well. And on this beautiful, beautiful first night of the weekend, 1931 Leatherworks says, Bob, I aim to improve with every piece I make. That's awesome. Be it skill, design, or materials. I'm working towards providing as many materials as possible. USA sourced down to the thread. Yes, sir. I love that. And I love the choice. You did not ask me about color, and I didn't specify. And I love your choice of black and red. This is the exact color combination on the seats of my Ferrari Daytona. So it matches beautifully. Thank you. Edgy American Blade says, by the way, you absolutely cannot comment in any variation of the popular social media platform known as the Gram. Wait, what? You absolutely cannot comment in any variation on the popular social media for. What do you mean? You mean whenever you comment? What do you get? Do you get knocked out? Jay Wesley says, our knife swap. Oh yeah, our knife _swap or Blade Forums exchange are where I usually go. Now I have done all of my selling and buying over the years on Blade Forums, and I kind of stopped going there. But maybe I should head back, because for a while, all I was ever finding to buy, and all anyone wanted to buy at the exchange, were super high end. Like no one was interested in my 3-pack of Civivis. And they're like, yeah, no. Oh, Blade Binge. Great idea. Can't sell them on Blade Binge, so best bet is either eBay or Reddit, I imagine. Oh, why can't you sell them on Blade Binge? Different. I don't know. Let me know if you do. Let me show you this real quick because I want to show this and I don't want to forget. But this is the new gateway out the front. Oh, out the fronts are automatics. Okay, I get you, Todd. Thanks to Jim, who's keeping a close eye on the conversation, unlike someone else I know. This is the new gateway jack from Jack Wolf Knives, and it's in, this is a $75 knife, which is a very good deal for this knife. And also, if you like Jack Wolf Knife designs and builds, but you don't want to pay Jack Wolf Knife premium dollars, you can get this one or save up and get this one, and it is a honey. These are sweet. This is my second one of these. I have it with this rosewood cover, so nice. Rosewood is I love rosewood. Reminds me of beautiful guitars and that kind of thing. But this one has this Miami camo carbon on it. That is so cool. This is very Miami Vice with that sort of light blue / teal and the hot pink. Probably not what I would order, just looking at the website, but having it in hand and seeing it in person, oh man, it leaves an impression. I like it. I like these crazy carbon fibers they put on the Jack Wolf knives. This one, 14C28N, really nice action on it. Actually, stouter action than the first run of the Gateway Barlow, or at least my example of the first run of the Gateway Barlow. But both excellent knives, and I would recommend them. If you have a hankering for a slip joint and you want to try something new and different, you don't have any Jack Wolves, check it out. If you like Rosecraft, you'll like the Gateway Barlows. You'll like the Gateway line. If you like Rough Rider Reserve, for sure. If you like, they don't feel like cases. They feel more like they're kind of more on the Rosecraft side, except they're traditional slip joints in that they use the kick to stop the blade and not a blade stop pin inside the knife. Sorry, Jim. Bruce Dagger. Good to have you here, Bruce. Bruce Dagger, I'm going to say. Bruce, it's good to have you here. In my bug out bag, a Ray Kirk Lopper. Ooh, I don't know what it is, but I like Lopper. 52-100 taper tang, maybe 20 inches overall, and a Roselli UHC 4-inch Scandi ground hunter. Very nice. Those Rosellis are beautiful. Love old school Spideys too. Nice. Yeah, my parents, I bought my dad an old school Spidey with the full stainless steel. It was a Native. I think it was the Native 4. It's the one that had the swedge way back when. And every time I go home to Ohio to see them, I clean it up because they like to use it gardening, and like they really use that knife hard. And I was going to sharpen it, oil it, and put it back. And by the time I come back to visit them, it's like that again. I love it. It's really used. They use their shit, man. Let's see. Greg Vanderlip, nice to have you here, Greg. Smash that like button, he says. Yes, I concur. Smash that like button. I'm sorry. I'm trying to put these away before. I don't want to get bitten by a TKL because they bite. All right. Oh, by the way, I was carrying the 001 in a badger claw sheath. They're so nice. Fishbag says, I didn't leave the house today, so technically no carry, but I did touch or fondle 73% of my collection. So there's that, I guess. Yeah. Your EDC was stationary. Wish I was a junkie. Hello, well. Greg, I think you are. If you're here, I think that means something. Blessed EDC says, I don't have the luck to win these giveaways. LOL. Yeah, well, one day. That's the thing. These random number generators, I don't know. I've always been here. Good to have you here. I've always been here. EDC was the same today as it usually is. Cold Steel Holdout XL, awesome. In XHP with DLC coated blade, olive drab handle, and snaggle tooth. Oh, what a great combo. Weak side carry is the shield and scythe. Another great one, man. Oh, you won that here, didn't you? Was that you? Yeah, I've always been here. Yeah, that was you. Jay Wesley, speaking of autos, today's carry was the Heretic Cleric 2 in fully serrated magna cut. A dainty little thing. Yes, a wee little, what do they say? A shrinking violet. Adrian says, today I had my Cold Steel Voyager clip point and a Kershaw Launch 4 that a good friend of mine and fellow blade enthusiast gave me recently. How nice. What a nice gift. What do they say? Small and unexpected. There are three qualities to the perfect gift: small, meaningful, and unexpected. Misto Doko says, Bob, Blade Show Texas needs some TCal representation. I don't see him on the vendor list. I would love to see his work there. He's going to be there. He will be there. I saw him doing a prep video. He should be there, unless he was joking about going, but I don't imagine why he would do that. So double check. I'm almost 100% sure he's going. So almost 100%. I'll say 97%. 1931 Leatherworks says, I make a very popular wallet sheath for the DP1. Is this something I have to buy through a TCal? Because I need a new wallet and I would love to have a knife in the wallet. So if that's something I can buy from you, let me know. If not, I have to go through him or what. I don't know. Let me know how that works. Johnny Evans, nice to have you here, Johnny. TCal FLN 2.0, very, very nice. Night Stalker CG, the Tor Valor, and the Montana Knife Works Battle Goat. Man, what a nice representation of current day, like kind of goat modern fixed blades. I guess you can't call them all the goats, but they're all kind of goat level or god tier, as I've heard watch people call certain things. I've always been here, says, bro, do you really have a Ferrari Daytona? No way, man. No. You said that so casually. No, I don't. No. But if you got one I might want, let me know. No, I don't. Lone Star Cowboy said, too difficult to get up early after the time change. It's good to have you here, Lone Star Cowboy, all the way from Turkey. No time change in Turkey. Carry today, Miguron Valona. That's a beautiful knife. That's a beautiful knife and reasonably priced and just graceful. I've always been here, says, what's wrong with selling on Blade forums? Autos and everything else is bought and sold there. No. I'm not saying anything is wrong with it. Last time I was active there, which it has been a couple of years, I gave up because at that time, that particular time when I was looking hard and trying to sell hard, what I was looking for wasn't there. I was looking for less expensive stuff. And what I was selling was not, what I was trying to sell was not being bought there. I guess at that moment in time, people were all buying like more expensive, like Hinderers and stuff. And no one was buying Civivs there. I was trying to just unload a bunch of well-maintained, inexpensive knives. Boots On says, thank you to whoever posted the Cold Steel Recon Tonto at Midway for 38. Ordering right now. Oh, sweet. Jay Wesley became a YouTube member. How awesome, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to salute you for that, sir. What should I salute you with? Okay. Oh, why not? I'll pull out the big guns. This here is for you, Jay. Thank you for becoming a YouTube member, sir. I really appreciate it. I'm saluting you with this beautiful Natchez Bowie in, this is not in 3V. This is in whatever their inexpensive steel, 4034 stainless steel. I figure for dueling, I don't need 3B, and I'm not taking this out in the woods and chopping stuff down with it. So yeah, in the morning when I drive my Ferrari Daytona to the duel, this is one I'll bring just because, you know, it's got that heavy front. So here it is. Thank you so much, Wesley, for becoming a member. Salute to you and welcome. Welcome to the crew. Much appreciated. Chris Dyke says, my absolute favorite knife is the Cold Steel Voyager Vaquero XL. Let me show you mine then. Serrated. My mother gave it to me 4 years ago for Christmas. Thank you, Mom. That's an awesome mom. Do you have one of these? And if you don't, maybe you should consider buying one. They're awesome. The Snaggletooth Tactical Pocket Catch. So it works just like an Emerson Wave. It snags on your pocket as you draw it and opens the knife up for you. It's in aluminum, and they're like $20, and you just buy them from snaggletooth.tactical.com. They're so awesome. Dominic, good to have you here. Dominic, wait, what'd you say? They are going for sure. I missed the first one. Sorry. T-Kel is on the list. Yes, they are going for sure. Okay. Yeah, so I saw him doing a whole prep where they had a whole bunch of knives. They're prepping for the show. So cool. Bob, can you show us again that knife you said you'd never have to sharpen, that giant Warney, please? Yeah, this is Edgy American Blade Works. This is the Edgy American, not Blade Works, the Edgy American Blades Junkie. And it is a gorgeous hunk. And Shane just said he's going to be taking orders for these. He's going to do a batch of them. And it's wickedly sharp. This is crew wear. I'm not sure what he'd still do that same steel. And this was this like Kevlar micarta or something like that. Really, really, really tough stuff to grind. You can see right here at the finger choil. Sometimes when you're grinding micarta, it's super, super, super hard. I used to grind linen micarta. It would do that. It would kind of like darken some of the epoxy. Man, it feels so good in hand. So yeah, check them out. Check them out. There it is. It's the Junkie, and it is great. It's about a 4-inch blade, I think, tip to choil. I think that's about. Why guess when you can guess a little more accurately? Let's see. This is 4 1/4. Yeah, it's like 3.75, I guess, or 3.8. Anyway, it's awesome. All right, guys. What? Oh my gosh. Northern Knives had a great Thursday Night Knives. Take care, Jim, Bob, and y'all. Wait. Don't go. Let me salute you before you go. Let me salute you. Thank you. I will salute you with this classic. I appreciate that, Mike. And here it is. The Randall model number 2-8. -7. That's a 7-inch blade, double-edged hollow ground, quad hollow ground, stiletto fighting, or a combat stiletto is the name for this. Number 2 combat stiletto. In my favorite combination of handle, guard, and materials. Here it is. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Mike. Salute to you, sir. Guys, go check out 3 Dog Knife. Go to TheKnifeJunkie.com/3DogKnife and use Knife Junkie at checkout and check them out. Thank you so much, Mike. All right, guys. Oh, wait. Victor says, just for the record, I felt exactly like that. I never win anything until I tuned into the Knife Junkie one Thursday night. I believe it was the first or second time I tuned in and I won a knife. You never know. Absolutely. Thank you, Victor. And thank you, all of you guys and gals, for joining us. I really, really appreciate it. We have so much fun. I have so much fun. Look forward to Thursday nights every week. So I know Jim does too. Thanks a lot. All right, for Jim, working his magic behind the switcher, I'm Bob DeMarco saying until next time, don't take dull for an answer.